Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4 The Road to 56. Today, I figured, after some very, very slight thought, that we are going to be playing France today. So, for France in particular, they have interesting options, to say the least. You have four paths pretty much. Well, I say four. Technically, you can go different ways for those four. So you can either go with Action Francois for the monarchy. You can go with the far right, which is pretty much fascism. You can go form the Popular Front, which is you stay democratic, or you radicalize the left, which means very communist. Today I think we'll be going for, well, the monarchy looks interesting. You know what? I'm gonna do something that usually no one does. I'm gonna play Democratic France. Now, Democratic France hasn't exactly gained a great reputation. They have the tendency to be thought of as the country that surrenders, which, I mean, technically speaking, you're not wrong. That's represented in this this particular focus, disjointed government. That surrender limit right there, it means when the Germans, if they're going to be doing the regular German AI of staying with Mr. Silly Mustache Man instead of killing him or going to the monarchy, I guess. Well, they usually will invade around the Maginot Line, and then immediately, once France loses Paris, they capitulate. That is often because these cities, with their victory points that the Germans have taken at this point, and the points for France in Paris, usually go below that negative 50 surrender limit. It makes us incredibly weak. So we gotta hold on to as many major cities as possible. Because of the randomized AI, things are going to be a little special, to say the least. But, luckily for us, that'll also make it much more likely that we won't get stomped on in 3 minutes. So, as France, we have, well, it's hard to show here, but we have a lot of divisions. In mainland France, we have 53. We're gonna select all of, and throughout our colonies, we have 20. For simplicity's sake, I'm gonna probably mostly ignore the out of France divisions. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of divisions, but at the same time, something tells me we're gonna have slight supply issues. By a lot. But that's something else to worry about. So, France. We start off with 8 military factories and 32 civilian factories. Pretty strong. Not the strongest country. Germany has, well, a lot. Britain has a few more than that. And, of course, the United States, the Soviet Union, they got the most, pretty much in the game, I think. Soviets, impressive amount. Americans, They got a lot of civilian factories. You can't use most of them, but they got a lot of them. So, we are going to be sticking with regular democratic France. A little weird. Not something particularly seen, as I've so stated, but it's going to be the thing we're staying with. Let's see. So, as France, we got a lot of things that as Turkey, we didn't have. We have a lot more military factories, for example. We have actual large quantities of resources in all the things that matter. So, as France, we have a few issues. You have the disjointed government. Stability, it definitely does not help the stability. It drops severely. That does not help our political power. It also affects that. Surrender limit, even worse. It means should anything happen, for example, if, say, Paris fell for some crazy reason, then our country would just cease to exist. We'd surrender. That and certain other issues have stunted us. So we're going to have to, over the course of this campaign, we're going to have to rectify that issue. So, as a democratic France, we have two options when we get down here. We're going to either A, stay with the current guy, or B, go with a different guy. Pretty much, we stay democratic. But one way or another, we're going to get down here. I think we're probably going to stay with Bloom, and we're going to go down the Little Entente side of things. Just in case Britain does some weird, wacky, colorful thing, and, I don't know, decides they would like to visit Germany, or, go a certain other way. But, you know, we'll see what happens when we get there. Free civilian factories. For the moment, it's probably best to start building up our military a little early. I know, maybe not the greatest idea. Any pro Hoi4 players might question my decisions, but I'm a noob. I'm willing to admit that. And unfortunately, I do not have the experience to really adjust to such things. So we're going to have outdated ships being produced. We're going to finish up those. And then we're going to see what happens then. Ooh. What do we start as? Let's see. Limited conscription. Looks like the people aren't happy with us. Hope that doesn't lead to any revolutions. France. So very much a, massive hotbed for revolutions. Alright, anyway. That's enough distractions. So, we're gonna need a few, army groups. We're gonna need one for the Maginot Line. We don't want the Germans to just be able to walk in, after all, even if they can't literally walk into the Rhineland at the moment. We're gonna need, I'd say, a army to deal with the Italians down south. We're gonna assign these as individually as I can get it. So these guys are going to guard against the Italians. Spanish. What do we want to do with Spanish? It's difficult to say. I'm sure we'll get there when we get there. So that leaves us with 31 divisions. 31 divisions of a lot of groups. We're gonna gather the more motorized of the groups, at least in the first army. We're gonna gather them in a group. That's gonna be our armor division. For now, we're going to, I guess, put a border against Belgium. It's always best to have a certain contingency army just in case you have to maybe, possibly, sorta, kinda counter invade a certain waffle state. But you know, that's we're not quite there yet. All right, let us get us started. We're gonna go on 4 speed to make up for some lost time. Oh, what do we want to do with this 4th army? Difficult. So we got the colonial army. We got the main army, which luckily seems to be about the same size and with the same equipment, so at least we don't have a massive discrepancy. But we have brigade colonial divisions. I hopefully they're just over here, which would be great. That'd be awesome, in fact. So, again, I don't really understand builds, so please don't attack me, professional Hoi players. But the thing I understand about this is you don't want super spread out division templates. You don't want a dozen different templates. So right now we're gonna have to figure out which one I'd rather have. Oh. Dang. How does that affect our plans? I don't know. I'm not certain. We'll figure it out when it comes down to it. If we have to change plans a little bit and find another leader to lead us, then we'll do what is necessary. Oh crap. Hey, that's not good. That pretty much says, hey, time to cripple the economy. Let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be very, very nasty for a little while. Alright, so pretty much, at the moment, we're in the middle of the Great Depression still, technically speaking. The United States is, well, particularly feeling it. But that doesn't mean that's the only country affected. Particularly us. We, our economy is not doing well. So we're gonna have to deal with that as well as we go along. I suspect we can probably deal with it before Germany goes to war with us. But it's hard to say. We're just gonna have to roll with it. Roll with the punches, per se. Oh. Yeah. We can't risk it, unfortunately. Alright, well that tells me a few things. One, Germany's going down its regular path. Not particularly great. might mean we're gonna have to... We're gonna have to speed things along a little faster. Unfortunately. Because the original thought was, if Germany is embroiled in a civil war, they're gonna be weaker. It's gonna take them a longer time to, well, do these kind of things. So, it's particularly, something we need to look out for. Problem. At this point, they're not going through a civil war. They've actively armed the border, and it means guaranteed, no matter what happens, we are going to war. We're gonna have to seriously arm our country. Because, as I said, Oh. Stalin's no longer in power. This is weird. This is not going how I was expecting it to go. I mean, for a non-historical Hearts of Iron 4 game, I guess it's not necessarily as chaotic as it could be. Technically speaking, the United Kingdom could be going communist. The United States could be embroiled in a civil war, or headed that way. And I don't know. Japan could be going the way they did last game, which they're not. Okay, so we'll have a very fascist group over here. Damn it. Alright, so it looks like we're sorta possibly being forced on the warpath already. Okay, so after we get we gotta get to this elections pretty soon. Otherwise, this is not gonna go well. Start. What? Greece is going. This is the weird thing I was talking about, but like, wait, huh? You're a communist country, but only 17% of your government is communist. That's I don't think that's how that works. I could have sworn communist governments had a majority. I'm a little confused, but we're just gonna ignore that for the moment. Alright, let's see. How are we doing on deficits? Okay. So, working on guns. Working on artillery. Light tanks are somewhat getting there. So we're looking not half bad so far. It'll improve eventually, but unfortunately, not at the moment. Oh no, I forgot a key part of things: the Navy. All right, so usually, technically speaking, the Navy doesn't have a necessarily large role in my plans. Not to say not in the game, but mostly just in my plans. But, again, since I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time, one key issue when it comes down to... Oh, well, there's the agreement. We're gonna, oh, we can still go with Bloom. Wonderful. We definitely need that stability. So one of the things I find that is particularly effective is Death Stack navies. Huh. These Death Stack navies are pretty much as they sound. They're massive navies that are formed with pretty much every ship that you can get. I'm really wondering where the Mandate of Palestine is going in this game. Okay, already through that list. Oh, there's the Spanish Civil War. Right on Q2. I was beginning to think they weren't coming. But luckily they did. I don't know why this particular spot isn't maxed out in land forts, but we're gonna deal with that. So technically speaking, there are certain focuses I could take to, I don't know why it brings me over here, to intervene in the Spanish Civil War. This could be anywhere from sending guns to maybe, possibly, I'm not certain. I don't usually think about it much, nor do I usually play France. But usually it's something along the lines of send equipment, send people, send volunteers, so on and so forth. Alright, we now have our Death Stack Navy. Pretty much, you shove all your ships into one fleet and hope that the sheer numbers will kill pretty much everyone. In this case, Germany. And maybe Italy. We'll see what happens when we get there. We're gonna pick the best guy. Let's say that he's literally the best, but you know, we're just gonna have to work with him. Okay, what is Haiti worth to me? Well, truthfully, all things considered, it's not particularly all that much. There's no resources there. There's no, I mean, the people, I guess, but they're few and far in between. There's no factories, so I don't really see the point of keeping it. Maybe I'm the odd one out, but I don't see the point of keeping it. Okay, so we have no divisions in training, which is not particularly good. We're gonna transfer the tanks over to the other army. Ooh, cavalry. I don't particularly like cavalry for the specific purpose of... Okay, that is a lot of stuff completed all at the same time. Hold on. Particularly because I don't feel like it's like super effective. That, and it doesn't feel like it can break through anything. I mean, I guess it has speed, but past that, I don't feel like it has much. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my poor opinion on the matter. But that's just how I think of it. So we've gotten ourselves started. Got our Navy sorted out. Probably want to deal with the Air Force. I may do that between episodes just to save me the headache and you guys the boringness of watching me do that. Germany's staying on its regular path. Britain's staying on its regular path. Stalin's dead. Greece is having a little bit of a civil war. Spain's in a civil war. It's pretty much all I can think of. And then obviously the Mandate of Palestine is doing things. We still don't know where I still don't know where that's going. But that's going to be the end of the episode for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. This is Dragon Man out. Peace.